on Osrc News at 7. Ondo State bids farewell to late SSG Oluwatoyi with emotional ceremony. Nigerians react to proposed 12-year basic education model. FG targets 4.5 million women in Scale-Up Empowerment Initiative project. And from the foreign scene, federal judge blocks Trump's suspension on humanitarian aid. Thank you very much for joining us tonight on the news at 7 on Osrc television. My name is Oyewumi Ayinubara. The Ondo State Governor, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, has described the late Secretary to the state government, Temitayo Oluwatoyi, as a selfless leader who contributed immensely to the state's growth and development. The governor echoed this at the service of Songs and Christian Wake held in honor of the late SSG in Akure, the state capital, which was part of activities marking his burial ceremony. Joy Pius reports that the line estate was earlier had for the deceased, where the administrative block of the Akure South local government was named after the name, the late Temitayo Oluwatoyi. Now the report.
The service of Songs and Christian Week in honor of the late Secretary to the state government, Temitayo Oluwatoyi, took place at the Gani Fawehinmi Arcade Ground in Akure, the state capital. The Ondo State Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa, while eulogizing the late SSG, described him as a diligent statesman, acknowledging his remarkable legacy in the political and administrative landscape of the state.
At the time as the chairman of Akure South local government, one-time commissioner for local government and chieftaincy affairs, commissioner for natural resources and forestry, two-time secretary to the state government. In all of these positions, he served humanity, contributed immensely to the development of Ondo State. He represents different personality to different people. And I pray that the love he shared and the times he spent with you will continue to be a source of strength and consolation to you at this time.
Top government functionaries, political bigwigs, friends and well-wishers were present to honor the deceased.
On behalf of his political associates, we say, goodbye, sir. Goodbye, sir. Goodbye, sir. And to his family, we say, take solace in the words of the Bible.
This is one of the major blessings. His good name. That's one of the things that we carry on our shoulder. I don't have to have money. I know that there are people that if I call today, I'm sorted.
Earlier, a line in state was held at the Akure South Local Government Secretariat, where the administrative building was named after the late Temitayo Oluwatoyi.
Akure trusted so much in him. And of course, as a father figure, time when Akure needed a father, Tukan has been there as a father. When he needed an arm to lean on, Tukan has been there. His path cannot be eroded. We love him even till death.
He gave me a soft landing in this local government because when the going was so rough, he came to my aid and the whole thing was settled. And for that, I can never forget him.
He's a very nice man. He's a man that people have access to him freely. He was well accommodating. He never tired of helping people. And one of those things that I like most to touch people's lives, one way or the other.
Temitayo Oluwatoyi's legacies transcends politics, as testimonies of his philanthropy were resounding. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
In the meantime, Akure, Ondo State capital, witnessed an emotional farewell as the late Secretary to the state government SSG, Tayo Oluwatoyi, was laid to rest with tribute pouring from across the state. The burial prompted reflections on Oluwatoye's contributions to society, with community leaders and clergy highlighting his roles in uplifting Akure. OSRC's Omoshinyola Adesoyaje reports that the governor of Ondo State, Lucky Aiyedatiwa, led the state's delegation. We'll bring you the report in the course of the news. And though the remains of the late secretary to Ondo State government, Tayo Oluwatoye, have been committed to Mother Earth, his deeds are reverberating. Eminent state indigenous described him as a rugged, loyal, and articulate grassroots politician and mobilizer who died at a time when his expertise was most needed. In this report, Kunle Ariyo profiles the Akure-born politician. The report is presented from our studios.
Temitayo Oluseye Oluwatoye was born to the family of late High Chief and Mrs. Bankole Oluwatoye of Olisa in Akure. He attended St. David's Primary School, Ijomo, Akure, and later proceeded to the prestigious Oyemekun Grammar School, also in Akure, for his secondary education. He was also at CMS Grammar School, Lagos, for his higher school certificate. Between 1981 and 1984, Oluwatoye was at the University of Lagos, where he bagged his first degree in BSc Economics, Finance and Management. He was an associate and fellow of many professional bodies in accountancy, financial management, cost management, and credit administration. His working career started with Ondo Plastic Industry Limited as accounting assistant between 1986 and 1989, and joined SEC Nigeria Limited as cash officer and custodian of company's vault. Late Temitayo Oluwatoye, popularly called to Foray into politics, began with his appointment as the chairman of Akure South local government between June 2009 and July 2011.
He's an easy-going man, the man that loves everybody, and this is somebody that is a giver. If you look at the building here now at my right hand, he was the one that built it then.
He later became the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs between September 2011 and February 2013. He also served under the administration of late Oluwarotima Akeredolu SAN as the Commissioner for Natural Resources. He later became the Secretary to the State Government, SSG. He came back as the Secretary to Ondo State Government on the 24th of January 2024. He was appointed by Governor Lucky Aiyedatiwa.
The time when it was SSD, memorandum he have between we, the staff, the management, and the politician as well. So he maintained a very good peace. He's a very straightforward man.
Honorable Temitayo Tukana was a friend of my family. I was very close to him. Very unfortunate that we lost him. It's very unfortunate. Humility personified, you know. Talk of any good thing that you can say about a man.
Late Temitayo Oluseye Oluwatoye would be remembered for his grassroots mobilization and as a lover of peace. Kunle Ariyo, OSRC News.
Reactions have continued to trail the federal government proposed introduction of a compulsory 12-year uninterrupted basic education model to students in Nigeria. This new framework seeks to migrate to 12 years of compulsory education while retaining the current 6-3-3-4 structure. Our correspondent Blessing Obi takes a look at the proposed reforms.
The Nigerian government is considering a significant reform in its education system with a proposal to introduce 12 years of compulsory education. Minister of Education Tuji Alausa, who reviewed the proposal, emphasized that the initiative aims to ensure a seamless transition of education model, noting that the proposal is designed to align Nigeria's education system with global standards.
Clear the sensationalization that has gone out since yesterday, that the Federal Ministry of Education, the federal government, has scrapped GSS and SS, primary school GSS and SS education. We have not. That still stays. What we're saying is that we need to move from what we have now as 9 years compulsory education to 12 years of compulsory education as it's obtained in other parts of the world. Main contest of 6 years of primary school, 3 years of junior secondary school, and 3 years of senior secondary school. So we have not scrapped primary school, junior secondary school, or senior secondary school, and we do not intend to.
Under the revised system, students will receive continuous education up to the age of 16, after which they can pursue higher education. The proposed policy has, however, received mixed reactions from stakeholders. While some have welcomed the initiative as a step in the right direction, others have raised concerns about the feasibility and sustainability of the proposal.
In my own perspective, I think those who think this system should be changed, I think they actually meant well for the citizenry, because what we are witnessing now and compared to what we have been having before, we can know that the educational sector is not really what we wanted it to be.
You have not finished 3-3-4 system, you want to bring in 12-12. 6 students, they can't pay. I want to advise government, if you want to take primary school, take it, fund it. Want to take secondary, take it, fund it, leave others. By the time you now start imagine, you are just wasting our time. I'm going to mark it. This policy, if it fly, it will not have effect until after 10 years. What are those 10 years? What will it be for? A waste. Any error, any magic in education will take 10 years to manifest.
According to the government, the proposed model of education will provide free and compulsory education. The government aims to increase enrollment rates and reduce the number of out-of-school children. The policy proposes to improve the quality of education by investing in teacher training, infrastructure development, and curriculum reform. By extending basic education to 12 years, the government hopes to significantly improve literacy rates and equip citizens with the skills needed to compete in the global economy. The policy aims to address poverty and inequality by providing education as a tool for social mobility and economic empowerment. The government will still need to seek approval from the National Council on Education before the reform is implemented. Blessing Ube, Osrc News.
You are still watching Osrc News at 7. In part 2 of the news, federal government targets 4.5 million women in scale-up empowerment initiative projects. Please to join us for this and more. Thank you very much for joining us. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook at OSRC TV, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel OSRC TV Ondo. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL) has debunked reports of an explosion at the Warri refinery. The company, in a statement signed by the Chief Corporate Communications Officer Olufemi Shoneye, said operations at WRPC was altered to carry out repairs for efficient service delivery. He added that routine maintenance is progressing and operations will be back in the next few days. Shoneye stated that these intervention works are essential to ensure the production of on-specification finished and intermediate products, particularly automated gas oil and kerosene. The statement added that NNPC Limited remains committed to ensuring uninterrupted product supply and appreciates the patience and cooperation of all stakeholders as it completes the essential maintenance activities. The federal government has reaffirmed its continued commitment to ensuring that migration legally, not only for the economic benefit, but also for the well-being and safety of the migrants. Minister of Labour and Employment Mohammed Magari Dingyadi stated this in Abuja while receiving a delegation from the IHK Gizen Freiburg Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Germany. Addressing the delegation, Dingyadi explained that the federal government would always encourage legal migration to ensure the safety of the migrants and for the benefit of the two countries involved. Dingyadi noted that vocational training in particular is part of the core mandate of the ministry, seeking to create jobs for the teeming population of the country. The minister stated that the support of organizations like the IHK Gizen Freiburg Chamber, the federal government would easily achieve its goals of ensuring that the teeming jobless youth would become self-employed through vocational training. The minister assured the delegation of the willingness of the federal government to partner with them to achieve common goals and promote mutual interest of Nigeria and Germany. The federal government, through the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, has revealed plans to empower over 4.5 million women across Sulaiman Ibrahim in a statement, alluding to the 18-month delay in execution, stressed that the time is of the essence and immediate action is required to meet the project's development objectives. Ibrahim called on state commissioners for women affairs to prioritize the recruitment of high-quality project staff and constitute relevant implementation structures without delay, while emphasizing the need for a clear roadmap with firm commitment from each state on their acceleration plans and next steps. The Women Project Scale-Up Program is an initiative that aligns with the broader vision of empowering 10 million Nigerian women under the Renewed Hope agenda. The minister assured that the federal government is committed to supporting the project's success with a high-profile presidential launch planned within the next month. And to the foreign scene. Ecuador goes to the polls on Sunday for presidential election. Incumbent Daniel Noboa, who took office after a snap election in 2023, is favorite, but his war on violence campaign has run into controversy, with critics pointing to increasing numbers of disappearance. Kemisola Ojomo has the detail.
Anger and despair at a funeral of 4 young black boys from a working-class neighborhood in Ecuador's poor city of Guayaquil. The names Saul Ismail and Steven. The eldest was 15, the youngest 11. In December, a military squad forced them into a patrol car as they walked home from a football match. It was the last time they were seen alive. After weeks of searches and mounting accusations of official abuse, their burned bodies were found near a military base. Cathy Busto, mother of 2 of the boys, demands answers. Some of the parents have received death threats.
Ismail was just a kid, a good kid, a happy kid. He loved football and dreamed of becoming a professional player. I want justice, and I want the people responsible to really think about what they've done. My kids weren't troublemakers.
The Malvinas 4 Kids, as it has been named after their impoverished neighborhood, has sparked outrage in a country already reeling from unprecedented drug gang violence. Activists say the government's iron fist approach backfired, with troops killing and disappearing innocent young men, especially Afro-Ecuadorians.
I knew these boys. They weren't criminals, just kids playing football.
Ecuador's state prosecutor says 22,000 disappearances have been reported in 3 years. Only 4 have gone to trial.
These arrests are part of a pattern of detentions by the armed forces where people are targeted based on racial profiling. They mainly go after vulnerable groups like Afro-Ecuadorians and people from rural areas. These arrests are both illegal and arbitrary.
President Daniel Noboa, heir to a banana fashion, faces re-election on Sunday. So far, he has avoided addressing the case. During our debates, an opponent challenged him to name the Malvinas Fall and apologize. He refused.
No hubo ninguna pregunta ahí.
That wasn't a question. I wasn't asked a real question. But let's talk about my opponent's record.
The military initially denied involvement, later admitting Air Force personnel detained the boys, but saying without evidence that they were robbers. 16 soldiers now in pre-trial detention. Families demand justice, but fear silence might be the only answer in a country increasingly dominated by fear, violence, and corruption. Kemisola Ojomu, Osrc News.
The U.S. Coast Guard in Alaska has located the wreckage of a small passenger plane on frozen sea ice a day after it suffered a rapid loss of altitude and disappeared. Officials confirmed that all 10 people aboard the aircraft, including the pilot, were presumed dead. Coast Guard rescue swimmers who reached the site reported seeing 3 bodies inside the wreckage, while the remaining 7 were believed to be within the mangled aircraft. Clink Johnson, head of the National Transportation Safety Board Alaska office, confirmed the fatalities. The region was experiencing poor winter weather at the time of the incident. Harsh conditions are complicating recovery efforts, with officials warning that it could take hours or even days to retrieve the victims from the remote crash site. A federal judge has temporarily blocked the Trump administration's attempts to place most of the U.S. foreign aid agency's employees on paid leave. The legal challenge brought by the workers' union says the order is unconstitutional. For more than 6 decades, U.S. aid has been one of the largest providers of humanitarian assistance worldwide. Kemisola Ojomu tells us more.
Of the United States.
The U.S. Agency for International Development was founded by President John F. Kennedy in 1961, bringing the spirit's aid programs under one organization. During the hottest days of the Cold War rivalry with the Soviet Union, sending aid in the form of food, technical experts, and loan was seen as a way of extending U.S. influence, stopping the spread of communism, and thereby keeping markets open for U.S. corporations.
This is a very powerful source of strength for us. It permits us to exert influence for the maintenance of freedom. If we were not so heavily involved, our voice would not speak with such vigor.
In a way, USAID was the successor of the Marshall Plan, under which the US funded the rebuilding of Western Europe after the Second World War, which succeeded in keeping those countries from turning communist. Over the decades, the agency shipped hundreds of millions of tons of food, medicine, and medical equipment. Analysts say with USAID cut off, China will benefit.
For China, Africa is a #1 priority. It is where strategic minerals lie. It is where major, waterways, the Suez Canal, the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden.
Notable USAID efforts over the years included famine relief in Ethiopia in the 1980s and Somalia in the 1990s, and to war-ravaged countries including Sudan, Bosnia, Afghanistan, as well as natural disaster zones. Among the most significant and successful humanitarian programs administered in large part by USAID is the President's Emergency Plan for AIDS Relief, or PEPFAR, the brainchild of President George W. Bush. It manages prevention, treatment, and health care system strengthening with a major focus on sub-Saharan Africa. Since 2003, the program is estimated to have saved 25 million people from dying of HIV/AIDS. On Friday, a worker was seen covering up the USAID emblem at its headquarters in Washington with black plastic tape. Kemisola Ojomu, OSRC News.
And with that, we conclude the news tonight. But before we go, a quick look at the top stories. We told you that Akure, Ondo State capital, witnessed an emotional farewell as its late secretary to the state government, SSG, Tayo Oluwatuyi, was laid to rest with tribute pouring in from across the state. And we also told you that reactions have continued to trail the federal government's proposed introduction of a compulsory 12-year uninterrupted basic education model to students in Nigeria. And we also brought to you that the federal government, through the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Development, has reviewed plans to empower over 4.5 million women across the country with a Nigeria for Women Project Scale-Up initiative. And finally,